At this point, I already know Triple H doesn't really care about SmackDown. It's pretty obvious. Look at how Raw is being booked. Raw has bigger stars, Raw has the better storylines, and they have a multitude of feuds and programs and angles that are happening all at once. Raw is very varied. Like there's a lot to choose. There's a lot of storylines that you can choose from that could be your favorite, right? Raw just feels like the better show because Triple H is clearly putting more stock in Raw. He's clearly favoring Raw over SmackDown. And I know that there's a lot of fans that are noticing this. They notice that there's a decline in SmackDown. If you take the bloodline stuff out the equation and you take Cody off of SmackDown, man, SmackDown is a cesspool. SmackDown becomes unwatchable. You take away your face of the company and you take away your biggest faction ever, SmackDown is nothing. But there's a reason why Triple H is putting more stock on Raw because they're going to Netflix. That's the whole agenda. Netflix. So Triple H, and let's be honest, a lot of Triple H's guys are on Raw. If you really think about it, most of his favorites are on Raw. The guys that Triple H isn't really fond of, that's not being heavily pushed, they're on SmackDown. They're not getting a whole lot of love. They're not they're not presented as bigger deals or as stars. You have your bigger stars on Raw. Cody Rhodes and Solo and Roman Reigns, they're the only legit stars on SmackDown. And you can include Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, right? But it stops right there. It stops right there. And so the biggest example of SmackDown declining and Raw getting all the attention and better booking, look no further than Randy Orton and Gunther. Now, Randy Orton and Gunther, they're gonna have a world title match at Bash in Berlin. That's the match that they're gonna do, and it's basically the sequel to their King of the Ring match from back in May. Um, there was really no decisive finish to that match. So Triple H obviously wanted to do a rematch between Gunther and Randy Orton. I have no problem with that match. It's just, why do we have to once again insult the intelligence of fans by breaking your own rules? Like, y'all keep doing this to where it's like, y'all do the draft, you separate the rosters on each brand, but then months later, you break the rules and you have one guy from SmackDown come over to Raw, and then you have one guy from Raw go to SmackDown. This is why the draft in WWE has no value. It's a waste of time. So basically, Randy Orton just gets to go on Raw and challenge Gunther for the world title. So basically, Cody Rhodes, if you look at SmackDown's roster, which is weaker compared to Raw's roster, he doesn't have any more credible challengers left that are heels. Cody Rhodes needs credible heels to fight against. That's the only way Cody is going to stay over. If he doesn't have any credible heels to face, his title reign will become very stale really quickly. And that's why it was important for Randy Orton to turn heel after the whole bloodline thing and to do a blood feud between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. That was Cody Rhodes' next big feud, his next big challenger. But for some reason, Triple H has not built up enough credible heels on SmackDown for Cody to face, and that's very unfortunate. Cody already beat AJ twice. He beat Logan Paul. Okay, he beat Solo. And after those three, there's no credible challengers left, except maybe a Santos Escobar if you want to build him up. But you would think Triple H would have already built up Santos Escobar. I mean, he hasn't lost a whole lot of matches. I guess he's an option. Shinsuke's not an option. He already lost to Cody. I mean, Triple H should have kept Bobby Lashley around because